The story began with the steady, rhythmic sound of an axe striking a wall. Each blow grew heavier until a strange blue liquid began to seep from the cracks. A young boy, thrilled by his discovery, carefully gathered the substance into a small bottle. Ink, rare and precious. He smiled and thanked the small dark creature beside him, Nero, for guiding him here. Crawling out of the dim hole where he had been searching, he wondered if bringing this ink back would finally be enough to make the pioneering corps accept him. Emerging into the light, he looked toward the distant city, its center glowing with brilliant, shifting colors. In the bustling main streets, crowds had gathered to watch a group known as the Colorists. Their bodies shimmered with vibrant hues, drawing admiration from everyone around. People whispered that the Colorists had defeated yet another giant creature that day. To the city, they were heroes, protectors of the shining metropolis. As long as they existed, the city would remain safe. But far from that brightness, on the edge of the city in the Shadow District, another crowd had formed in front of a building. It was the testing site for the C-Rank Pioneering Corps entrance exam, open to anyone possessing color. They dreamed of exploring the Black Lands and earning glory. But not everyone was welcome. The young boy, still clutching his bottle of ink, was thrown out before the exam even began. The guards told him to leave, reminding him once again that people like him had no place there. Frustrated, he shouted back, demanding to know why. He showed them the ink he had brought, insisting it proved his worth. A man with red hair stepped forward, asking if he really needed it spelled out. He was colorless. The word struck like a hammer. The man continued, saying that everyone was born with their roles already decided, but fools who didn't know their place always appeared. Flames curled from his hand as he warned the boy to listen carefully. People like him didn't belong here. Fire roared toward the boy. He flinched, expecting death, only to find the attack had missed deliberately. The red-haired man smirked and told him that only the chosen could become pioneers. His companions revealed their own powers, each ability more dazzling than the last. They explained that beyond the city lay the Black Lands, a realm swallowed by darkness where monstrous creatures roamed unseen. Only those with strength and color could survive there. Pioneers risked their lives to explore the unknown, searching for resources and treasure to secure humanity's future. They were the true heroes of their age. He told the boy that for someone colorless, becoming a pioneer was impossible. He ordered him to return to colorless labor, stop appearing at their gates, and get lost. As the door slammed shut, he warned that if the boy annoyed him again, he wouldn't miss next time. The boy stood silently. From his pocket, the small black creature emerged, trying to cheer him up, but he whispered softly that it was fine. There were still many other places they could try. He was used to rejection. Smiling faintly, he promised that one day he would become the greatest colorist ever. He pushed Nero back into his pocket, though the little creature resisted. The boy whispered for it to stay hidden, someone might see them. Turning away, he said they should keep looking, somewhere that might actually accept them. From a nearby window, a strange man watched their exchange, a faint grin sliding across his face. Hours passed. After being rejected again and again, the boy crossed another name off his list. He sighed. Another failure. Nothing he could do about it. Eventually, he arrived at Mari's workshop. Like him, she was colorless. Seeing him at the door, she greeted him warmly. "Welcome back. Judging by your face, it didn't go well again, did it?" He nodded. She smiled gently and told him that people simply didn't recognize talent when they saw it. In her eyes, he was probably stronger than most pioneers already. He shrugged, saying that no matter how skilled he was, no corps would ever accept a colorless. Mari reminded him that despite everything, he always returned safely from the Black Lands. His abilities had been proven time and time again. He corrected her softly, saying it was only thanks to Nero. Then, changing the subject, he asked if she could buy the ink he found. She agreed instantly, saying she'd pay him well. As she poured the ink into her energy device, she let out a relieved sigh. Supplies had been scarce lately. The boy commented that it was because the city kept demanding more pioneers. Mari nodded, saying their entire livelihood depended on ink. She looked at him with concern. He worked harder than anyone, yet no core would take him. Calling him K, she asked if he had thought about what she told him before. He admitted he hadn't. The place she mentioned seemed too far out of reach. Before he could finish, Mari placed a paper in front of him. You have to try everything, she said firmly. You never know how things will turn out. This could be your chance. He picked up the sheet and froze. Dawn Pioneering Corps. An S-rank unit. He had always assumed he would fail immediately if he applied. Could his skills truly be recognized at such a level? Mari insisted it was a real opportunity, one based on ability, not birth. If he wanted acknowledgement, this was the moment. She reminded him that he had wanted to be a colorist since they were children. She would support him always. Kay smiled and said he couldn't afford to hesitate anymore. He picked up the application sheet for the Dawn Corps and thanked her before leaving. Mari called after him to take care. Walking alone through a narrow alley, Kay studied the sheet again. Time was short. He needed to prepare. Suddenly, Nero tensed in his pocket, sensing danger. He frowned and asked what was wrong. Before he could react, someone approached from behind. It was the same group of strange men who had been watching from the window. A blast struck him square in the back. Pain ripped through his body as he crashed to the ground. His scream echoed before everything went dark. Kay lay trembling. One attacker laughed that he was lucky to have dodged it. Another, a man with green hair, said coldly that it didn't matter. The boy would be dead soon anyway. Who cared if a colorless died? Nero burst from his pocket, crying out as it tried to reach him. Kay's vision blurred, consciousness slipping away. With his remaining strength, he signaled Nero to run. When he next opened his eyes, everything was dark. The air was thick with the stench of decay. He realized he was lying in a deep pit, a place radiating danger. Above him, the green-haired man sneered, saying it was unfortunate he was still alive. He explained it was an ink waste pit, where all inks mixed together into a deadly poison that dissolved anything human. Perfect for disposing of unwanted bodies. Kay's voice cracked as he asked why they attacked him. The man grinned, amused. They hadn't expected to find such a treasure in the Shadow District. Turning to a nearby cage, he revealed Nero trapped inside. A creature intelligent enough to follow human commands was extremely rare, worth a fortune on the black market. Kay's heart sank. Rage ignited in his weakened body. He shouted Nero's name, struggling to stand. He cursed the green-haired man, demanding he release his friend. The man mocked him. A colorless trying to look intimidating? Pathetic. Grabbing Kay by the collar, he sneered that it was too good for someone like him to own such a creature. Kay realized too late how careless he had been. Years of insults he could endure, but losing Nero, his only family, was unbearable. His face twisted with fury. Don't mess with me. The man froze. Darkness seeped from Kay's hand, swirling like ink coming alive. A sharp pain shot through the man's body. He felt something pulling, as if his very life was being drained away. Panicking, he threw Kay into the pit. Disgusting, he muttered, stepping back. Kay sank into the thick black liquid. Above, the two men laughed, declaring it finished. All cleaned up. Now they were rich. Nero's cries echoed from the cage, weak but desperate. Kay's limbs refused to move. Nero's voice grew louder, echoing in the darkness. Was this really the end? After everything, was this how it ended? No. He still had that promise. Then a voice echoed inside his mind, cold, distant. Why are you just standing there? Why aren't you doing anything? He couldn't respond, only gasp. The voice grew sharper. Will you let it end like this? Save Nero. Take it all in. Don't hesitate. Accept it. Your true color. Now take it back. Your true color. Black energy surged around him, spiraling upward. He felt it flooding through his veins, merging with every part of him. He opened his eyes. He was in a vast white void. A faint silhouette, a shadow of light, stood before him. Looking at his hands, he whispered, "What is this? What's happening?" He realized he was inside the ink, surrounded by endless stillness. His memories blurred. Who am I? He wondered. But Nero's cry pierced the silence, louder and louder. Lifting his head, he saw them again, the men, and Nero still trapped and crying. His heart blazed with determination. He had to save Nero. He thrust his arm upward. The pit erupted. Every drop of ink exploded outward, flooding the area. The men screamed in disbelief as the black liquid vanished in an instant. From the pit, something massive began to rise, a form shrouded in absolute darkness. The green-haired man stumbled back, face pale. No, no way, he whispered. This can't be. A deep black hand rose from the pit and reached for them.